Just so you guys know, we are recording.
Well, everybody sounds nice and clear.
That's what you want to hear.
Right? Like you're just sitting right next to me. My lap.
Is that what I'm feeling? Well, welcome everybody to our first ever episode of Folks Like Us. It's so nice to have you guys here in studio with me, or in various other cities, as it may be. Here we have Tia Morris, who you guys met in Body Hair. Hi, Tia.
Hi, guys.
Where are you, Tia?
I am in New York City.
Awesome. And we also have Eric Rittenhouse.
Hey, guys. Both of our listeners. Sorry.
And where are you right now, Eric?
I am, it's pretty exciting, guys. I am in rural Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Crazy, I know. Crazy.
Is somebody playing dominoes?
Did you hear that?
Yes. It just kind of sounded like maybe like machine gun farts or bubble wrap. I'm not sure.
Okay. Noted for the future.
I'm writing that note down right now. Machine gun farts and ready.
Yeah, obviously I saw Amy Schumer's new stand-up special last night, in which she talked about machine gun shooting.
Well, how was her new special? Was it funny?
I thought it was hysterical. Have you seen it, Eric?
Yeah, I really do think she's fantastic. You know, I've always had, and, you know, Jason and I have talked about this at length when writing together, but one of my mantras is that anything can be funny, but not everything is. And so I think that there's a way that you can take things that maybe people think are taboo and that you really can't go there. But if you're good, it's going to be funny. Most of the time, she's good. She runs a tight, 45 minutes. Half of it is looks. So, yeah, but she is. She's fantastic. Have you seen it, Tia?
I have not seen it. So I have nothing to add to this one. And I don't... I'll never just be in the mood to, watch a comedy special.
For you guys that don't know, Tia and I met. Tia, I don't know what kind of shenanigans Tia and her friends are usually up to, but on this particular night when I met Tia, she and her friends had made a decision. It was no new friends night.
No new friends. But, that's New York.
Do you remember this, Tia? So we're sitting at the basement of Webster Hall. Within 4 feet from us, there was this girl who had her leg up on the top of the booth she was sitting in. And this guy was completely eating her out while she had a conversation with everybody
eating
else.
Her shit. Whoa. But see, those are the kinds of things that I love about New York. I'm like, yo, you will see anything here. I'll never see that shit in Shreveport, That's where I'm from, everyone. I am from Shreveport, Louisiana. But, I moved to New York to, go to clubs and people were fucking, oh, and that's just a Tuesday. I love that.
If something like that happens in a small town like Lancaster, and
I don't understand something about Lancaster. I've gone to Lancaster a few times.
Can I just state that not everyone not from Lancaster says Lancaster.
Okay,
it's Lancaster.
It is. It's kind of bizarre because there are many Lancasters all over the United States. There's one in California. There's a couple different ones. The only reason I know that is because sometimes my GPS done fucked up. We are the only Lancaster that pronounces it Lancaster. We full on have T-shirts that say LAN and then KISS and then TER, so that everybody gets it. How did you know that, Tia?
I got checked a couple times from somebody by your town.
Get out. Yes, there are aggressive types.
Yeah, and I'll never go back. I'll never go back to Lancaster. Ugh.
Lancaster is just, to me, it's just the Amish people. I mean, they kind of freak me out, and it's just weird that, there are people who still take a horse and a buggy everywhere and don't use electricity. Yeah. But they sell those furnaces, on the TV, the Amish heaters. I don't understand what the rules are.
Yeah. And most of them are electric, which is weird. They don't use buttons.
What?
Yes. It's a little different. And it usually isn't until somebody's visiting that I'm more aware of it. Oh, yeah, that's not everywhere.
Well, I'm always take me to the Amish. And I video record them, even if they get mad about it, because I think they're stupid.
You have so many souls. You have so many souls in your camera, in your phone. Yeah, that is your Pokemon Go. You you just collecting them all.
I heard Pokemon and I thought about getting fingered, which then led me to Katy Perry. Katy Perry coming out this weekend that she actually has done a lot more than kiss a girl.
Like, I hate that she, like, left off the rest of the sentence, because it's just like, yeah, I experimented with girls, you guys know. I kissed a girl and I liked it, but I didn't like it enough, because she's never dated a woman. She's never been, like, publicly with a woman, you know, and it's okay to just be like, you know, I experimented, but I'm straight or fluid or bi or whatever, but we all experiment with sexuality, with chemicals and chemistry. Like, I experimented with chemicals. I'm not a chemist, you know?
Great point.
I guess it's just like, so finish your thought, ma'am. Nobody cares.
Good place to get unchained to Katy Perry's rhythm here and talk about something different. I have to say, I do love that song.
I do love that song, though.
Right? There, you know,
so good.
Sometimes there's a song that comes along that you're like, oh, I'm going to hate this before I even hear it. And then you hear it and you're like, oh, God damn it.
That's exactly how I felt. And I was just like, damn it, you're catchy. Yeah. And I listen to that shit every day. Are you guys listening to any other new music? You know, the new Drake dropped last night. I don't know if you guys care or gave it a listen, but I did. Let me just say this, because, you know, I really hope that I meet Drake one day. And he's like, what's up, girl? And I'm like, I have a boyfriend, but thank you. That being said, Drake is an actor. And so he does a lot of this mock patois and very island. And it's like, you're a mixed kid from Canada. Like, what are you doing? You sound weird as hell, dude.
It's like, well, Gwyneth Paltrow also like doesn't speak like she's from like fucking America either. Of course, Madonna doesn't either. But Lindsay Lohan's, her change recently was really, really weird. Like, it's so super affected that there's no way it just oozed onto her because she was, like, around that part of the world.
No, do you think...
What part of the world is that?
Right.
I don't really know. I think, well, she's someplace in the Middle East or something, right? Because she's like...
Yeah. Like, somebody was saying that it was because they say that if you're in if you're in a country where you do not speak their language and they know very little English, they understand you better if you speak English in their accent. Which sounds, when I say it out loud, cuckoo magoo. But I know that I've heard that somewhere. And so part of me was like, maybe she's doing that. Maybe she's way smarter than any of us were credit for.
No, that's
I mean, it's that. I have to question something with that, because I'm just like, I don't feel like if I were to go to, like, China, like, for one, I couldn't fake a Chinese accent to try to ask them stuff. I just don't understand how that works.
But wait, I have witnessed Tia in a foreign country, and let me tell you how she rolls. So she needs like some special conditioner for her hair because she's like got fantastic natural hair, right? And we're at this like tiny little shop in Ibiza, right? And neither one of us can speak Spanish to save our lives. And Tia's like, I got this. I'm gonna go ask the lady. And she takes like 2 bottles, and she's like, excuse me, shampoo? Condition, like you were like trying to speak to her in the accent without using any Spanish.
I'm not gonna say that I'm probably not guilty of it, but I don't think it worked then either.
God.
All right, well, then maybe Lindsay Lohan was just high.
Well, my dad.
And that I can relate to.
My dad used to we'd go to like Chinatown in New York City, and he would start speaking to Chinese people with that stupid Chinese accent, and I'm like, Dad, stop that! Like, you're mocking them. That's embarrassing. And he would say, how do they know I'm not Chinese? And I'd be like,
this is our kind of getting to know us first episode. So if it seems like we're kind of, all over the place, or we're kind of jumping around here and there, feedback. We are. Okay, so you guys met in New York City on the night that you were not allowing any more friends into your circle, which, by the way, is most of my Saturday nights. And now I'm just going to call it that, so it's not as sad. So, and then you guys did down the road did body hair together. How did that come together? Where did the idea come from?
We were like, is there something that we can write and self-produce, star in, and direct ourselves, kind of feed what we needed? And it really blossomed into this great project. We found great people. And I think we really turned out something, better than what we expected.
And Tia wrote a great piece, and when you have great writing, it's really easy to put something together. And I love working with people who are super talented and who also are easy and fun to work with. When I'm excited to get to New York so that Tia and I can, not always per se do everything together, but so we can attack a common goal together in the same city.
Yeah, and I know for myself, we worked so well together that I want to keep working with Jason. I consider him my creative partner. Well, yeah, and definitely having different dynamics that we had in our relationship that really went through changes over 6 months, to just being, friends and very just supportive of each other and each other's goals. I was his backup singer, so he was my boss, to us working together and being equal partners. I just feel like, in all of that, we are good knowing how to talk to each other and communicate. And I think that we're really able to bring the best out of each other. We don't have a fear there.
Eric and I actually met over Skype.
Just to back up a little bit to give some insight, because I think this is just ridiculous. We were huge fans of Sordid Lives on Logo, and of course of Jason, of you, and you were the background of Dustin's laptop, way before, the whole situation's just kind of bonkers, and you were doing the love story project, let's do a little interview thing, and I wasn't going to tell Dustin at all. I was going to make it a surprise, have Skype up and running, and have him walk into the room. The problem with that, which I'm sure he's fine with me telling everybody, is that he's popped in many a time almost on Skype sessions with friends and been inappropriately dressed. So I thought, he will kill me if he has no clue beforehand and Jason Dottley's on my computer screen.
Well, basically, I intruded on your life. So we had a couple of calls via Skype, and you guys, you cracked me up. You were so funny, and we talked for
We bonded over Britney
Spears.
Yes, over Spears. Yeah.
Okay.
She had just had her work bitch had just come out, and
yes, you better work, bitch.
You better work on a Maserati.
Yeah, it would be hilarious if we bonded over Britney Spaniels. But no, it was totally Britney Spears, and and you came down and spent some time in good old Lancaster, and you have a couple times.
It was after the second visit, I think it was me. It had to be me. I finally had to fart. I don't know what happened, and that great feeling when you're just friends, and all of a sudden you let down the fart wall, and
no.
Tia.
Oh no.
Tia has a thing about what are your tics again?
I have issues with gases, not solids. So you can shit and vomit around me, and I'll be like, oh,
really?
But if you burp or fart, I'm like, you're the worst. You are disgusting, and get your life.
You're like Trump. You just build that wall.
Yep. I can't deal. But okay, you're like, oh, I just want to fart around my friends. Keep going.
We're boys. I mean, even though we're gay, we're boys, and it was just nice to be able to be like.
I mean,
my friends or anybody who ever wants to, invite me over one day and have a Netflix session. Hold it together. I'm never gonna be that comfortable with you. I'm not that comfortable with my mother. Oh my God, Mom, get it together. Don't fart, please. Just go outside or something. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Just don't do it around me.
I love people who are funny. There's nothing to me funnier than a funny person. And Eric helped write My Life on the Gay List, which was my first one-man show. comedy show that Tia got to see in Boston, actually.
I did, and I enjoyed it very, very much. It was very funny.
Poor Eric never got to see it.
Oh.
I mean, I know how it goes, but
It was good.
So yeah, we've all had a chance to work together in different capacities, and I'm kind of glad to have us all doing this now. It's fun. So have you guys seen, okay, so you know the Cash Me Outside, How About That Girl, right?
And I just have to say, like, I will not comment on this girl because I'm not giving her any more shine. She doesn't do anything. And I mean, even us just speaking about her for this 30 seconds, somebody's going to be like, somebody gives a fuck about her. I don't. So I'll come back on the next time.
Somebody died from Jerseylicious while we were recording.
Jerseylicious? What's that?
I didn't know either, but I got an alert from CNN. Jersey.
Can we just say that somebody at CNN had to type the word Jerseylicious into a ticker?
Mike Actari is dead at 28. He was one of the stars of Jerseylicious, a show I've never heard of.
He's a very Guido-looking man.
Yes, he's got his tan game. His eyebrows are waxed. Yeah, Guido all the way. I'm not into those kind of guys, by the way. And, you know, I get kind of tired of people telling me that my sexual preference has something to do with race. Like, I have different taste in different colored people.
Well, yeah, and I feel that way, too. I think my issue with the whole people being like, I'm not racist just because I don't want to date, like, a certain color of person is, it's, you know, how about... I think anything that you have to say out loud that you don't like is negative. So why don't you only just speak about what you do like? You know? Like, you don't have to put, like, black dudes need not apply, not interested in chocolate. Just be like, I like, you know, Snow White ass looking dudes or girls or, you know, like, just, you know, say what you like. But when you do actively say what you don't like, I think you're a dick. Maybe not necessarily racist, but definitely an asshole.
Well, it's, you know, it happens a lot. There's this whole thing in the gay community where, like, no fats, no femmes is a big hashtag with a lot of guys. And something that I don't use dating apps because I'm just uncomfortable with them. But I have definitely hopped on them a few times when I'm like, if I had like a show in Boston one night, I'll pop my Grindr profile up as Jason Dottley so that, like, when you start popping me a message, I can be like, yo, come see my show tonight. Hit me up after, right? And I saw, like, at every city, there would be these guys who, like, you know, their name, their age, you know, whatever, and it would say, no one over 30. And I've always been over 30, like, since dating apps have been around. And what I would do to those people is I would start a conversation. I would get as far into that conversation as, when can you come over, right? Like, we're gonna bone. And then I would message them back and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they would say, why? And I'd say, oh, I just read your bio and it says no one over 30. I'm over 30. And like, oh, no, that doesn't count for you. And I'd say, no, booty, that's your rule. Like, I'm not going to let you break your rule. If you, like, have a no over 30 policy, like, that's your policy. And, like, I never talked to them again. But did the whole thing on purpose. You know what I mean?
Well, not every guy can, you know, do that. Like, a black dude can't be like, gotcha, I'm black. Or, you know, like... But like, a very skinny guy can't be like, I'm not pudgy, like I said. You know, like, it doesn't work for everyone that way.
Oh, by the way, I appreciate that this is perhaps the only format that between Jason and I can tell the general public right now that I'm the more attractive one, and they have to believe me until they do a Google search. So this is amazing. So I just want everybody to know right now, it's really hard to be funny and the attractive one. And everybody's running to their phones to Google and are now disappointed. No, I think going back to Jason's point, though, there are, of course, a lot of white people that I do not find attractive. But so for that reason, I wouldn't discount an entire race of other people.
Instead of announcing, like, this is what I'm not into, put out there what you want.
Yeah, and then be selective in your inbox, you know, just be like, nope, too dark, nope, too bright, nope, too whatever, you know, like no one will judge you for that, but I'm totally judging you for being like, no chocolate, no spice, no whatever the fuck else people say to like call people shitty names, you know? I just think it sounds so dumb when you're just like, I don't like this color or this shape.
Now, that being said, I've never pursued an intimate relationship with a woman, but I feel like I don't need to announce that that's never going to happen.
Fair. I don't feel like you do either.
This is coming from somebody who's been in a relationship for 15 years.
My only exclusion, you live in a culture that doesn't like do deodorant, which is like a lot of like, I mean, it's huge parts of the world. Like, I can't handle that. That would imply, I don't care what you look like, if that's how you lived your life, like stinky, like we're not gonna work out.
And see, but that's, I feel like, I mean, you worded that so in a way that I'm just like, oh. But I kind of echo that sentiment in the way that it's just like, if you make like religion or something, like choices that I'm just like, oh, it's those things that I'm just like, I can totally put that on my profile. Like, no Christians, please.
Right, because
because you've made it, you know, because it's definitely something you can control, and it is a choice. Right. And I'm like, I don't like that choice. Or like, you know, if you voted for Trump, no. No.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't holler. I don't feel like that's fucked up. Like, I don't feel like it's wrong in that way to announce what you don't want. But I feel like if it's something that someone can't help, like, you know, shit, like they're like, if you're born this way, born this way, yeah, then you're a dick. If you're like, no, for your bornness, but like, fuck you for your choices.
Amen to that. Okay, so Tia, you're in a relationship. Eric, you're in a relationship. I was married for 10 years. I don't know how it is with straight couples. I know a lot of gay couples, even though they're like monogamous, like it's still cool to have like Grindr and shit actively on your phone.
No.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't see the need, because I think we understand as a culture kind of what those apps are for. I don't think we're fooling anybody by saying, well, no, I want to see if somebody wants to go hang out and see a movie. All right, we'll go stand outside the movies and see if anybody walking in wants to watch a movie with you.
I wouldn't trust anybody that felt the need to have a dating app while they had a date.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
It doesn't make sense to me, but that's because, here again, grew up without it. I can't get Snapchat to work. There's no way I'm getting laid through an app on my phone.
Well, luckily we have a youth outreach department head with us right here.
So lucky.
Tia Morris.
I can help you with the Snapchat. I can help you with the Snapchat.
Yeah.
But with the online dating, I guess I've done it, but I'm also like, I'm not the youngest, you know, I'm 30. And as long as I've been on it, it's, no matter which one you're on, it's all basically like, so we're fucking tonight.com.
Really?
Right, exactly.
Like, that's basically, like, maybe on Grindr,
somebody get on GoDaddy.
Tinder, like, you don't get dinner first, like you do on Plenty of Fish or OkCupid. I don't know.
That's the difference.
I believe those are the difference, but you're all ending up the same way. I don't need to see what I'm missing, because I know how hard it is to have a relationship. And I mean, I've put in too much time at this point. Like, I love my boyfriend. He's fantastic. I want to be with that dude forever, because like, this is some hard work, man. And Eric, you know, you said you've been with someone for 15 years, and I'm just like, we're dying together after 15 fucking years.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of turns into the joke where you're like, listen, I'm not going anywhere, because at this point, I'm too lazy.
Yeah, I can't
start this all over again.
New. I can't know somebody this well again. People are just weird now and looking for this instant gratification, and I'm not into that. And I feel like, you know, neither is really my boyfriend in that way. And I don't know how many more people I'm going to meet like that who aren't hipsters.
No, let me tell you, it's scary. I mean, it's why I've been practically single for 5 years. I also feel like I don't know how to relate to, like, nothing turns me off faster than a picture of your butthole. And it's like, First of all, like, I don't
Is that a thing? Our butthole?
Oh my God, it is totally a thing. I found a phone one time in a cab, and this dude did not know how to set a good finger lock password, and he had so many butthole pictures in it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was so good. And then I gave him the phone back, but I was like, I saw. As a straight lady, I don't know if that's what we're doing now. So, I mean, we might be doing it too. Like, it might just be the new thing. I don't know. I know I'm not sending butthole pictures, but I can find out if that's something like that, you know, the kids are doing.
I mean, listen, I love an asshole. Like, I like to eat one. I like to fuck one. But
no.
Like, but I just don't think they're appealing out of context.
Yeah, that seems like a really strange. First of all, I don't have a selfie stick. Are you using a light ring? How are there any like Instagram filters that is going to make it look better? It seems so specific, and it tells me nothing about you. I don't know. Maybe you can read it like tea leaves.
On the same page. So how do you guys feel about does anybody care? Let me ask that question. Does anybody care that that Tyra Banks is back hosting Everything on the Planet?
Oh my gosh, I have this down as something I wanted to talk about. It's amazing to me. I personally can't wait. So she is, to be clear, she is starting to host America's Got Talent, correct?
Yes.
America's Got Talent, and she is coming back to America's Next Top Model. So
yes.
if it's got America in the title, she's hosting it. With that, we know. I think it can only be amazing.
I don't watch either of those shows, but I mean, I don't know why the small part of me was like, Rita Ora, you sucked. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know anything about this girl. I know when I heard that she was hosting America's Next Top Model, I was just like, why? And now she's not, and I'm just like, see?
Let me see. Let's go to my Facebook real fast. I think I have a couple of questions for us. My friend in New York wants to know what we think about Ryan Murphy's endeavor about New York City and the ball scene, and I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Oh, is Ryan Murphy? I'm looking up Ryan Murphy and ball scene right now, which Googling ball scene might take me to a whole separate.
It's definitely going to take you to you're going to end up watching somebody come.
Yeah. I think so. Oh, yeah. So it sounds like Ryan Murphy is going to be doing this new show called Pose. It looks like it's going to be set in the 80s, and it's going to be looking at, I guess, the ball scene of I don't know if it's going to be his sort of Paris is Burning.
I like him. I'm maybe not like excited to see it, but I bet I'll like that shit when I see it. I cuss a lot.
That's good. That's we don't have any sponsors to lose right now. I like Ryan Murphy. I love Paris is Burning, and I love the ball scene. Obviously, like I love Vogue. You know, I mean Madonna. Like it all kind of goes back to my childhood. I just didn't know he had such a thing.
He's doing, American Horror Story. He's doing the what's the other horror TV show that he does?
Scream Queens.
Scream Queens, which got boring.
I loved the OJ story.
The OJ, yeah, he's been doing sort of the news things. It seems like he's really good at pulling, at sort of yanking our nostalgia.
Yes.
And sort of twisting it around and kind of holding a mirror up to it, which I really like.
I loved the first season of Scream Queens so much, and I really could not get into the second season at all. I just got to keep it real. That's really all of Ryan Murphy's work I've ever seen. I never saw Glee. He did Glee, right?
Did, yes.
Yeah.
I never saw Glee. I never saw American Horror Story. I never saw O.J. Simpson. I never saw Feud.
OJ was good, and we're gonna watch Feud this week, so
I'm gonna start watching it because the gays have definitely had a lot to say on my Facebook or on Facebook about Feud. I'm interested to see what goes down. Okay, so this other guy writes and says, Jason, you and Tia should have a baby. It would be gorgeous and talented. Eric can be the nanny and manage the child's career. Okay, that's not a question. Okay, that's not a question.
That's a demand, and I got to tell you, anybody that is asking for me to provide childcare should be terrified.
Anyone that wants me and Tia to raise a kid together should also probably get to know
I
us
don't want a
better.
kid if it's not going to be Blue Ivy. Like, if I'm not having Blue Ivy or Blue Ivy 2, like, I don't want that life. She seems so cool. She's the best one. And my nieces
really
and nephew.
If I was in the same room as Blue Ivy, I would definitely be the least cool thing in that room. That is probably the coolest kid.
I love it.
I think I would be so weird, and she would be like, Mother, she's weird, and I can't do it today. Aw, Blue.
And now, so Beyonce has twins coming now too, right?
Did you hear the whole? It's probably going to be boys because she was wearing the "If I Were a Boy" earrings.
No, I didn't hear this. So give me.
I love when I know shit first.
Okay.
Right. So Beyonce was spotted out the other day wearing the earrings from the "If I Were a Boy" video, leading people to think that those little babies are boys. I can't even begin to think what Beyonce thinks. Like, she's just so dope and awesome. Like, my brain just isn't on that level yet. Like, I'm not doing enough with myself yet.
So it's hard to get ahead of her.
I love her.
Yes, and that's why I'm just like, so do you want us to just think that you're having little boys? I hope it's a boy and a girl. I don't even know what I hope. I just hope they're happy and healthy, and she's healthy. Beyonce.
Now I watched an episode of The View. I like to watch The View every day, but I just watched like the first 20 minutes, like the hot topics. I don't really watch the rest of it. And I don't really, yeah. And Sunny Hostin was like having a little like Sunny Hostin fit. And so I'm watching her, and she's like making a big deal about Beyonce's pregnancy. She's like, you guys, I'm happy, but she's like, she feels like these women like Beyonce and Janet Jackson are misleading the public because they are having the public assume they're having natural conception when she feels like most of them are having IVF because of their age. And I found it a little bit like abrasive because like Sunny Hostin needed IVF to have babies, like why does she then get to be like Beyonce can't get pregnant on her own without like, was she there? I don't know. It bothers me.
Because she's a bitch. Because she's a bitch.
There's no other way to.
What was that? What was this question?
I don't remember. Let me see. The question.
Something about Beyonce's babies having Beyonce. Or no,
we should have a baby. Let's forget this whole question.
Okay, we have one. This one came in. I haven't listened. This is a voice memo. Let's listen together.
Hey, big bro. It's your little bro Jeff from Jacksonville, Florida. I just want to know, how awesome is it to have a little brother like me?
Bitch, bye. That ain't a question.
It looks like there's a legit question here on Facebook that maybe we can actually answer.
Yay! Okay, go ahead.
This
and
one.
Read it.
Yeah, so we have a question here from Melissa Graham on Facebook, and she wants to know what are the best organizations that we can get involved in to continue our fight for our rights in the LGBT community and support our brothers and sisters. And I think right now it is more important than anything to be supporting not just the LGBT community, of course, but we now have arts that are being defunded. We have PBS is being defunded. So
PBS, the National Endowment for the Humanities, National Endowment for Arts, Meals on Wheels, I think is another one that might be cut.
And I think too that these are huge, sweeping, broad issues. And I think too what is super important, especially because right now the three of us are talking in three completely different states, different zip codes, is to look local. My partner and I definitely try to look local. We do a big give every year. Lancaster does it. I'm sure other cities do it. And so it's a great way to sort of look locally to see how you can help. And then beyond looking locally, I would just give a shout out to the Trevor Project, who they provide suicide prevention services to LGBT youth.
They're a wonderful organization. You also, like Eric said, you can start local. You can go to your local PFLAG, Parents, Friends, and Families of Lesbian and Gay Meetings. A lot of churches, a lot of Catholic churches these days have gay and lesbian and transgender outreach programs. Beyond that, if you're in school, you can go to a guidance counselor. A lot of schools have gay-straight alliances. As far as a national level to be heard, the Trevor Project, of course, is great for suicide prevention. It's the nation's only 24/7 suicide hotline to call in the country, and you can contact them at any hour of the day. The phone number is 1-866-488-7386, and they are around 24/7.
I want to, definitely say, I know that was a lot of information to take in just a second. So we'll definitely have links and the phone numbers to the things we talked about, like the Trevor Project, up online on our show page, which is Jason's going to tell you.
Yes, you can find us at folkslikeusshow.com. We're also on Twitter at folkslikeUsShow and on Facebook by looking up Folks Like Us.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, you guys, how was your St. Patrick's Day?
I've never celebrated St. Patty's. Oh, hi, Mr. Motorcycle.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Are you on the motorcycle?
Hold on. Okay. One. So, back to A.
I've never celebrated St. Patty's Day. Isn't that strange?
No. Well, kind of. You're white, so I always imagine all white people celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
And I'm part Irish, so isn't it an Irish thing or no?
It is.
Yeah, it's the most Irish thing, I believe.
Yeah.
Other than Ireland.
Ireland is decidedly more Irish than St. Patty's Day. Yeah, I don't know. So many people on my Facebook feed just were out day drinking, which sounds amazing. I was not able to partake in any sort of afternoon shenanigans. So my St. Patty's Day was rather boring, I have to say.
How about you, Tia?
Well, I celebrated. I did speak to you both. I was very, very drunk. Drunker than I'd like to admit. And Jason knows the next morning I called him and I was like, I don't remember anything. All right, I texted him. I was crying. I was like, I don't remember anything. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. Drinking dark liquor gives me anxiety the next day. So, it was one of those things where, I had to drink whiskey. You have to. And I did, and I had a good time. The next morning wasn't worth it. But the one interesting thing I did notice, so living in New York now, I do know a lot of actual Irish people, whereas in Louisiana, I knew white people who would be like, oh, I'm Irish. I'm like, okay.
Me.
Yeah, so I do notice up here a lot of people say Happy St. Patty's, and it's 2 D's. And everyone I know from the South says Happy St. Patty's with 2 T's. And you're a real one if you do it with a D. So
I'll always do it with the D, baby.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want
one thing I learned in Sunday school, it's that if you're only doing it right if you're doing it with the D's.
Exactly. So next year, for all of you hashtagging it, it's 2
Get it
D's.
right.
It's not 2 T's. It's St. Patty. Meet an Irish person. And I can say that because I did bartend at a very Irish bar for 3 years here in good old New York.
So, okay, what's crazy is that Tia, before I met Tia, she worked at this other bar in, and I think it was in Queens or Astoria. I get the outer part of the boroughs confused. And the reason I knew of the bar, she was like, yeah, I work at, blah, blah bar, was because I used to buy drugs, and my drug dealer, we met in front of that bar. And so I was like, I know exactly where you work. She's like, really? How? And I'm like,
drugs. You're like, yes. You do know where I used to work, actually.
As my ex-husband one time ever so kindly said to me, he said, Jason, how can you be sure you never cheated on me when you can't remember half the nights you went out anyway? And I was like, touche, bitch, touche. Okay, so but let's end. I've got a fun idea. Let's end really quick with a real fast round of a game I like to call Would You Rather. All right, Eric, pick a number 1 through 5 for your question. I'm sorry, 1 through 10. 1 through 10.
1 through 10. 7.
7. Would you rather get part of the skin of your dick torn off because it got stuck on someone's braces, or get fingered by someone who just ate buffalo wings, causing your insides to feel like they're on fire?
You could almost put anything as the second one. The first one just is not going to happen.
All right.
So I say bring on the buffalo sauce.
I could probably stick a buffalo up your ass instead of the first one. You'd be all right.
You could use the whole damn wing. There's nothing about. Yeah.
All right.
I like buffalo sauce. Mm.
So Tia, pick a number 1 through 15. 1 through 13. Sorry.
8.
8. Tia, would you rather make out with someone, feel something wet, and realize they just peed their pants, or drunkenly make out with someone and throw up all over them? That's a bad question. Let's give you a better one.
Oh, no, okay.
I mean, unless you like that one.
I don't know. I feel like if I say the one that I would probably do in real life, that would make me a weirdo. But they're both probably like, you're a fucking weirdo. I'd rather vomit on someone, I guess.
All right, well then your backup question is going to be this. Okay, Tia, would you rather go down on someone and have them unexpectedly thrust up, causing your nose to break, or sneeze while you're going down on someone, making their cum shoot out of your nose?
Ew, aww. I guess I'd rather... Wait, so it's come out of the nose or broken nose?
Yeah, basically.
Either way, I would just say your sinuses are fucked.
I guess come out of the nose. Ew, I'm so annoyed.
All right, so I guess I'll do my own here. I'm going to pick this question here and go for it. Would I rather have someone lick my armpits and then ask to blow air into my butt so they can suck out my fart? Or would I rather take off a girl's bra and have someone play with her boobs and sing Jiggly Jiggly Puff Puff from Pokemon? I don't know that that's relative. I'm going to pick neither one. Catch you guys next week on Folks Like Us, where we aim to educate.
Oh, what a brat!
Okay, all right, listen, I will definitely let you can definitely inflate my colon and suck out a fart. That's what you're into, but don't try to kiss me afterwards. We're not kissing when that's done. Thanks for listening to our first episode of Folks Like Us. Join us next week when we interview Tia Shanti Moselle, one of the stars of A Very Sordid Wedding. Don't miss a beat. Follow us on Twitter at Folks Like Us Show. Also, our website is folkslikeusShow.com. Come back again with Tia Morris, Eric Rittenhouse.
Bye, guys.
See you next Thursday. Peace out.